Professor Nilrem adjusted the temperature controls in his classroom for the third time that morning. His students needed everything perfect for today's special lecture. The moss covering his tall frame rippled with nervous energy as he checked the seating arrangements one more time. Every chair was positioned at maximum distance from the presentation platform. Today, a human was coming to his xenobiology class. The students filed in slowly, their voices hushed with a mixture of excitement and fear. Liz clutched her datapad so tightly her fur-covered fingers had gone white. She looked like the rabbits from Earth databases with long ears that currently pressed flat against her head. Her nose twitched constantly as she took the seat furthest from the door. "I heard humans can run for days without stopping," whispered Torvin, his antler-like horns bobbing as he spoke. "They chase their prey until it dies from exhaustion." "That is actually correct," Professor Nilrem said, causing half the class to jump. "But remember, we are here to learn, not to panic. Knowledge defeats fear." Pip, the smallest student in the class, squeaked from her front row seat. She barely reached half the height of her classmates, her mouse-like features making her look even younger than she was. "Professor, why is a human coming here? Could we not just watch videos?" "Because, Pip, understanding comes from meeting someone, not just reading about them. Our university prides itself on direct cultural exchange." Nilrem tried to sound more confident than he felt. His own species had never seen a predator in person until joining the galactic community. Every instinct in his body screamed to cancel this lecture. The door chimed. Every student froze. "That will be our guest," Nilrem said. "Please remember your manners. And please stay in your seats." The door slid open. Owen Hayes walked in carrying a small rectangular case. He looked smaller than the video suggested, though that might have been wishful thinking. His clothing was casual, colorful, nothing like the military uniforms most species wore for first contact situations. He smiled broadly at the class, 12 pairs of eyes locked onto his forward-facing predator gaze. Several students stopped breathing. "Hello, everyone," Owen said, his voice warm and friendly. "Thank you for having me today. I promise this will be interesting." When he smiled, his teeth showed. Flat ones for grinding, sharp ones for tearing. The teeth of an omnivore. The teeth of something that chose what to hunt. Liz made a small whimpering sound. Owen seemed to notice the fear in the room. His smile softened into something gentler. "I know I probably look scary to you. Your instincts are not wrong. Humans are predators, but we are also friends, neighbors, and today, I hope I can be a teacher." He set the small case down on the presentation platform with extreme care. Something inside made a soft sound, almost like a question. Several students leaned forward despite their fear, trying to see what the case contained. "Professor Nilrem invited me to talk about predators from Earth," Owen continued. He pulled up a holographic display. "My home planet has quite a variety. Before we get to what I brought with me, let me show you some of our more famous hunters." The first image appeared. A male lion, mane flowing in golden sunlight, jaws open in a roar. Half the students dove under their desks. "This is a lion," Owen said calmly, as if students hiding in terror was completely normal. "One of Earth's apex predators. They hunt in family groups and can take down prey much larger than themselves." The next image showed wolves running through snow, then a bear standing on its hind legs, a great white shark breaching from ocean water, an eagle with talons extended. Each image brought fresh waves of panic through the classroom. "Earth is what we call a death world," Owen explained. "High gravity, high oxygen content, extreme competition for resources. Everything there either learned to fight, run, hide, or cooperate. Humans did all four." Torvin, who had remained in his seat through pride alone, raised a shaking hand. "Did you say humans are persistence hunters? That you chase prey until it cannot run anymore?" "Some humans still do, yes. Though most of us now get our food from farms and stores. We domesticated many of our prey species thousands of years ago. Cows, pigs, chickens, sheep. We protect them, feed them, and yes, sometimes eat them. But we also protect wild animals now. We have entire areas of land set aside where no hunting is allowed, where endangered predators can live safely." "You protect predators?" Pip asked, her voice barely audible. "Why would prey protect something that wants to eat them?" Owen's expression turned thoughtful. "Because we learned something important in our history. Everything is connected. Predators keep prey populations healthy. Remove the predators, and the prey animals become too numerous, eat all the plants, and then starve. Balance is important. Understanding is important." He turned back to his presentation. Humans are omnivores. We can eat plants and meat. We have binocular vision for tracking movement, good endurance for long chases, and hands that can make tools and weapons. We are, by most definitions, very effective predators. The classroom was completely silent now except for the soft humming of life support systems. And something else, a gentle rumbling sound coming from Owen's case. But being a predator is not the most interesting thing about humans, Owen said. He placed his hand on the case. The most interesting thing is what we do with our predatory nature. How we channel it. Who we choose to live with. Liz found her voice, though it shook. What is in that container? Owen smiled again, careful to keep his lips closed this time. I brought one of Earth's most successful predators to meet you. A hunter so efficient that they have a higher kill rate than lions. A species so deadly that they have contributed to the extinction of multiple species across Earth's history. His hand moved to the case's latch. Would you like to meet her? No one answered. No one moved. The rumbling sound from the case grew slightly louder, almost rhythmic, strangely soothing despite its mysterious source. Owen opened the case and reached inside with both hands. He lifted out a small, furry creature that fit comfortably in his arms. The creature had golden and black striped fur, pointed ears, and enormous green eyes that reflected the classroom lights. This is Luna, Owen said softly. She is a cat. Luna looked at the room full of aliens with the casual disinterest of someone completely unconcerned about anything. Her tail swished lazily. The rumbling sound, now clearly coming from her, continued without pause. She yawned, showing a pink tongue and perfectly white, perfectly sharp teeth. Liz fainted. Torvin grabbed his desk with both hands. Pip made a sound like air escaping a balloon. Professor Nilrem felt his legs prepare to run and forced himself to stay still through sheer academic willpower. The predator in Owen's arms began cleaning her paw with her tongue. Still purring, still completely relaxed. She seemed to be the calmest individual in the entire room. Do not panic, Owen said gently. I know your instincts are screaming danger right now. They are right. Luna is a predator, but she is also my friend, my companion, and she lives in my home. By the end of this lecture, I hope you will understand why. The cat looked directly at Liz, who had just regained consciousness on the floor. Luna's eyes were large, forward-facing, designed for judging distance to prey. Her ears swiveled independently, tracking every sound in the room. Her whiskers spread wide, sensing air movement. Every aspect of her biology screamed hunter, and she was small enough for a human to carry in 2 hands. Professor Nilrem finally found his voice. Class, please return to your seats. We are perfectly safe. Owen, perhaps you should explain what we are seeing. Slowly. Owen nodded. He sat down on the edge of the presentation platform, still holding Luna. Of course. Let me tell you about one of humanity's oldest partnerships. Let me tell you why humans chose to live with predators, and why the predators chose to live with us. Luna's purr filled the silence like distant thunder, a sound none of the students had ever heard before, a sound that would change how they viewed humans forever. Owen stroked Luna's head with 2 fingers while the class tried to remember how to breathe normally. The cat leaned into the touch, her eyes half closing in contentment. That rumbling sound, the purr, continued like a small engine running in her chest. I want to start by acknowledging what your instincts are telling you, Owen said. His voice stayed calm and even, like someone talking about the weather instead of holding a predator. You are right to identify Luna as dangerous. She is. Let me show you why. He gently turned Luna to face the class more directly. Several students leaned back so hard their chairs tilted. Look at her eyes. Forward-facing like mine. This gives binocular vision. Allows us to judge distance perfectly. Essential for hunting. Prey animals have eyes on the sides of their heads for a wide field of view to spot danger. Predators have eyes on the front of their heads for tracking targets. Luna blinked slowly at the students. In her mind, if she had thoughts about the aliens at all, they did not show. She seemed more interested in a spot of light reflecting off someone's data pad. Her ears, Owen continued, can rotate independently. She can track sound from 2 different sources at once. She can hear frequencies you and I cannot, including the ultrasonic squeaks that rodents make when they are trying to be silent. Pip made a strangled sound. She was unfortunately quite rodent-like in appearance. Luna's whiskers are not just fur, they are sense organs. They detect air movement, help her navigate in complete darkness, and can tell her if a space is too small for her body to fit through. She is a living sensor array designed to find prey in any condition. Owen shifted Luna in his arms. May I show them your paws, girl? He spoke to the cat like she was a person, like she could understand. Luna responded by stretching, extending her legs. The claws that emerged from her soft paws made everyone gasp. They curved like tiny scythes, sharp and white against her dark toe beans. Retractable claws, Owen explained, kept sharp because they do not touch the ground when she walks. Each one is a surgical instrument. She has 18 of them, 4 on each back paw and 5 on each front paw. The front paws also have a dew claw higher up that she uses to grab and hold prey that tries to escape. He let Luna retract her claws again, and then there are her teeth. Owen carefully, respectfully lifted Luna's lip to show her fangs. Cats are obligate carnivores. They cannot survive on plants alone. Their teeth are designed for killing and eating meat. These 4 long fangs, the canines, are for delivering a killing bite. The smaller teeth are for shearing meat off bones. They do not have flat molars for chewing like I do. They are pure hunters. Professor Nilrim was taking notes so frantically his data pad was smoking slightly. What is her success rate when hunting? Domestic cats have a hunting success rate of about 32%, Owen said. That is higher than lions at 20%. Higher than wolves at 15%. Cats are incredibly efficient killers, especially at their size range. Then why? Torvin asked, his voice cracking slightly. Why in the name of all peaceful stars is she in your lap looking happy about it? Owen smiled. This time he showed teeth, but the expression was genuinely warm. That is the interesting part. That is the part that makes humans unique. Luna is not just a predator. She is my family. The confusion in the room was thick enough to cut with Luna's claws. About 10,000 years ago, Owen said, humans lived in small farming communities. We had just figured out agriculture, started staying in one place instead of wandering. We stored grain. That grain attracted rodents. Those rodents attracted small wildcats who were Luna's ancestors. Pip was listening so intently she forgot to be terrified. Almost. The cats realized that hanging around human settlements meant easy hunting. The humans realized that having cats around meant fewer rodents eating their food, so the cats moved in. We did not domesticate them the way we domesticated dogs or horses. Cats domesticated themselves. They chose us. Luna, as if to emphasize this point, decided she was done being held. She squirmed in Owen's arms. He let her jump down to the presentation platform. The class collectively stopped breathing as the predator was now free, loose, no longer contained by human hands. Luna sat down, curled her tail around her paws, and started grooming her shoulder. She licked her fur with that pink tongue, completely ignoring everyone watching her. The message was clear. She did not care about any of them. They were not food. They were not threats. They were simply furniture in her world. Cats are not pack animals, Owen explained. Dogs view humans as family members, as part of their pack hierarchy. Cats view humans as something else. Larger, clumsier cats maybe. Useful roommates. Friends who provide food and comfort. Each cat decides individually if they like you. You cannot force a cat to love you. Then how do you know she loves you? Asked Liz, who had climbed back into her chair but was ready to bolt at any moment. Owen's face softened. She sleeps on my bed. She follows me from room to room in my home. When I am sad, she sits with me. When I call her name, she looks at me. Sometimes she even comes when called if she feels like it. She brings me her toys to throw so she can chase them. She purrs when I pet her. These are all choices she makes. She could leave. The door is not locked, but she stays. The purring sound, Professor Nilrim said. What does it mean? Is it a warning? No, Owen laughed. Purring usually means contentment. Happiness. Cats purr when they feel safe and comfortable. Luna is purring right now because she is relaxed. She trusts that nothing here will hurt her. Ironically, she might be the least afraid individual in this room. That was objectively true, and everyone knew it. The humans and cats were calm. Everyone else was varying degrees of terrified. Owen pulled out a small device from his pocket. He pressed a button, and a red dot of light appeared on the floor. Luna's entire body changed. Her pupils dilated to full black. Her body lowered into a crouch. Her tail began twitching. Every muscle tensed. The prey animals in the classroom recognized the body language instantly. Attack position. Owen moved the light dot. Luna pounced. Her movement was so fast it blurred. She landed exactly where the dot had been, paws slamming down, claws extended. When she found nothing there, she looked confused. Owen moved the dot again. Luna charged after it, sliding slightly on the smooth floor. "This is play behavior," Owen said while Luna hunted the uncatchable light. "Cats need to practice hunting even when they have all the food they need. It is instinct. So humans invented toys, fake prey. We redirect the hunting drive into play." He turned off the light. Luna looked around, clearly disappointed her prey had vanished. Then she spotted something else. A small ball Owen had placed on the platform earlier. Luna crouched. Her back legs wiggled as she prepared to pounce. She launched herself at the ball, grabbed it with her front paws, kicked it with her back legs, then threw it across the platform. "She is playing with it like it is prey," Pip whispered. "She is practicing the killing strike." "Yes," Owen agreed. "But she is doing it with a ball, not a living creature. She is fed, safe, and stimulated. Her needs are met. Humans provide everything she requires, so her hunting instinct becomes play. Harmless. Cute, even." Liz made a sound that might have been agreement or might have been suppressed panic. It was hard to tell. Luna, having defeated the ball, returned to grooming herself. She licked her paw and wiped it over her ear, cleaning herself with the efficiency of someone following an ancient ritual. The purring started again, that strange rumbling sound that should be threatening but somehow was not. "On Earth," Owen said quietly, "there are nearly 1 billion domestic cats living with humans. 1 billion predators in our homes, our beds, our lives. We feed them. We take them to doctors when they are sick. We buy them toys and treats. We build them furniture to climb. We arrange our lives around their comfort." "Why?" asked Professor Nilrim. "I am trying to understand. What do humans gain from this arrangement?" Owen looked at Luna, who had now flopped onto her side and was showing her belly to the room. It was a position of complete vulnerability, complete trust, companionship, Owen said simply. "Cats make us laugh. They comfort us when we are lonely. They are warm and soft, and they choose to spend their lives with us. That choice, that trust from a predator, means something to humans. It means we are worth loving, even by something that could hurt us." He paused. "And maybe it reminds us that being a predator does not mean being cruel. Luna hunts because it is her nature, but she also plays, sleeps in sunbeams, and purrs in my lap. She is complex. All living things are, even predators, even humans." Luna rolled onto her feet and walked to the edge of the platform. She sat down and looked directly at Liz. The eye contact was intense. Predator to prey, ancient instincts firing on both sides. Then Luna yawned, showing all her teeth, and looked away. Dismissed, not interesting. Not food. Liz realized she had been holding her breath and let it out in a rush. "Would anyone like to learn more about cat behavior?" Owen asked. "I brought videos." Despite their fear, despite every instinct screaming to run, every single student said yes. The holographic display filled with images and videos from Earth. Owen cycled through them while Luna explored the presentation platform, sniffing at corners and investigating the equipment with the focused curiosity of a natural scientist. Her tail swished behind her like a question mark. "This is what cats do in the wild," Owen said, starting a video. The screen showed a small wild cat, barely larger than Luna, stalking through tall grass. Its movements were liquid, silent. It froze, entire body still except for the tail tip twitching. Then it exploded into motion, leaping high into the air and coming down on an unseen target. The video ended. "Cats are solitary hunters," Owen explained. "They do not chase prey over long distances like wolves or humans. They are ambush predators. They get close, stay hidden, then strike with overwhelming speed and precision. One chance. One perfect moment." He pulled up statistics. In the wild, cats eat mostly small mammals, birds, reptiles, and insects. A single cat can kill thousands of prey animals in its lifetime. They hunt even when not hungry. It is practice. It is instinct. It is what they are. Professor Nilrim raised a hand. "But Luna does not hunt," you said. "She lives inside your dwelling. How do you suppress a predator's instinct?" "We do not suppress it," Owen corrected gently. "We redirect it. Watch this." He played a new video. This one showed a cat inside a human home, stalking a feather toy being dragged across the floor by an unseen person. The cat's focus was absolute. It wiggled its back end, preparing to strike, then pounced with the same lethal intensity as the wildcat. But instead of killing prey, it grabbed a toy. The cat then rolled onto its back, hugging the toy, kicking it with back claws that would disembowel actual prey but only fluffed the feathers. Several students made sounds of confusion. The body language was violence. The outcome was play. The disconnect was jarring. Humans invented thousands of cat toys, Owen said. Fake mice, feather wands, balls with bells, laser pointers. We give cats appropriate targets for their hunting drive. They get the satisfaction of the hunt without killing. We get a happy, stimulated companion. But mistakes must happen, Torvin said. Surely predators sometimes hurt humans. By accident or instinct. Owen held up his hand, showing a thin red scratch across his knuckles. Luna gave me this 2 days ago. We were playing, she got excited, her claws caught my skin. It hurt, I said, ouch. She immediately stopped playing and hid under my bed for an hour. She knew she had hurt me. She felt bad about it. Cats feel guilt? Pip asked, surprised into forgetting her fear. We think they feel something like it, Owen said. They understand cause and effect. They know humans are fragile compared to them. Most cats are careful with us. They pull their punches, so to speak. They could bite hard enough to break bones, but they do not. They give warning bites, gentle ones that say stop without causing damage. He pulled up more videos. These ones were different. Cats sleeping on human faces. Cats sitting on keyboards while humans tried to work. Cats knocking objects off tables and watching them fall. Cats making bizarre sounds at birds outside windows. Cats getting startled by cucumbers and leaping 3 feet straight up. Cats squeezing themselves into boxes half their size. Cats running at full speed through houses at 3 in the morning for no apparent reason. The students watched in stunned silence. Then Torvin made a sound. It took a moment to identify it. He was laughing. The deer-like alien was actually laughing at a video of a cat falling off a couch while trying to groom itself. The laughter was contagious. Pip giggled at a cat that kept missing its jump to a counter. Even Liz, still pressed against the back of her chair, smiled at a video of a cat getting confused by its own reflection. Cats are efficient predators, Owen said over the laughter. But they are also silly, weird, unpredictable. They have personalities, preferences, bad habits. Luna yells at me every morning at 5 because she wants breakfast. Not because she is hungry. Her bowl is always full. But because 5 in the morning is breakfast time and routine is important to her. She has trained me to wake up at 5. The predator trained you? Professor Nilrem asked, surprised. Absolutely, Owen said with a grin. Anyone who lives with a cat will tell you the same thing. We do not own cats. They allow us to live with them. They train us to meet their needs. And we do it happily because we love them. Luna, hearing her name repeatedly, jumped down from the platform. Several students gasped. The predator was now on the floor. Closer, mobile. But Luna simply walked to Owen's feet and rubbed her head against his leg. The purring intensified, audible across the room. She walked around his legs in a figure 8 pattern, her tail wrapping briefly around his calf. Then she sat on his foot, loaf-shaped, tucking her paws under her chest. This is called bunting, Owen explained, not moving his foot. When cats rub against you, they are marking you with scent glands in their face. They are claiming you as theirs. It is affection. It is trust. She is telling everyone in this room that I belong to her. A predator claims ownership of a human, Liz said slowly. And you allow this. I am honored by it, Owen corrected. Luna could rub against anything. A chair, a wall. But she chooses me. Every day she chooses to stay with me. That means something. He carefully stepped over Luna and walked to his bag. The cat watched but did not follow. He pulled out a small pouch and returned to the platform. These are treats. Food designed to be delicious to cats. Watch what happens when I open this. He shook the bag slightly. The sound was soft, barely audible. Luna's head whipped around. Her eyes went wide. She stood up and trotted over, meowing loudly. The sound was demanding, insistent, not remotely threatening despite coming from a predator. Owen held out a treat. Luna took it gently from his fingers with her teeth, careful not to bite him, and crunched it. She immediately demanded another with a loud meow. This is what I mean by training, Owen laughed. She knows this sound means treats. She comes running. She uses her voice to tell me what she wants. We communicate, not with words, but with sounds, body language, and routine. He gave Luna 2 more treats, then sealed the bag. She meowed in protest, but he shook his head. No more. You will get chubby. Luna, understanding that treats were over, returned to grooming herself. On Earth, we have bred cats into hundreds of different types. Owen continued, pulling up images. Some cats have no fur. Some have flat faces. Some have short legs. Some are huge, weighing 20 pounds or more. Some are tiny, Different colors, different patterns, different personalities. All predators. All companions, the images scrolled by. Each cat looked different but had those same forward-facing eyes, those same signs of predatory evolution. We have also bred them to be more sociable than their wild ancestors, Owen said. Wild cats are completely solitary except for mating. Domestic cats can live in groups if they choose. They can bond with humans, with dogs, even with prey animals sometimes. We have selected for thousands of years for cats that enjoy living with us. So they are not really predators anymore? Torvin asked hopefully. Owen shook his head. No, they are absolutely still predators. They still hunt if given the chance, but they are predators who have evolved to cooperate with humans, to communicate with us, to share their lives with us. Being a predator is what they are. Being our companions is what they choose to be. He pulled up one more video. This one showed an elderly human sitting in a chair, clearly unwell. A cat climbed into the person's lap, settled down, and purred. The human's face relaxed. Their breathing slowed. They stroked the cat with shaking hands. The cat stayed perfectly still, just purring, providing comfort through simple presence. This is what cats give us, Owen said quietly. Comfort, companionship. A reason to get up in the morning because someone needs us. They ask for so little. Food, water, a clean bathroom, a safe place to sleep. And in return, they give us their trust, their time, their weird little personalities. He looked at Luna, who had given up grooming and was now watching a dust mote float through the air with intense focus. Is she a perfect pet? No, she knocks my things off shelves. She wakes me up too early. She throws up hairballs on my clean laundry. She refuses to cuddle when I want and demands attention when I am busy. She is stubborn and weird, and sometimes she bites my toes under the blanket at night for reasons I do not understand. Owen's voice filled with warmth, but she is also soft and warm. She makes me laugh every day. She greets me when I come home. She sleeps next to my head, and her purring helps me fall asleep. On bad days when I am far from Earth and feeling lonely, she reminds me that I am not alone, that I matter to someone, even if that someone is a small predator who mostly cares that I have opposable thumbs that can open food cans. The classroom was silent. Even the life support system seemed quieter. Luna, oblivious to the emotional moment, suddenly decided the dust mote was prey and leaped straight up, paws flailing, trying to catch air. She missed. She landed awkwardly. She immediately sat down and groomed her shoulder, pretending the whole thing was intentional, dignity intact. Pip laughed. It was a real laugh, unforced, delighted. She is so silly. Owen grinned. She is. And that is the secret, I think. Yes, cats are predators. Yes, they are dangerous by nature. But they are also individuals. They have moments of grace and moments of complete goofiness. They are complex. They are real. And humans love them for all of it, not in spite of it. Luna, having restored her dignity, walked back to Owen and meowed at him. He picked her up. She settled into his arms, and the purring started again, that deep rumbling sound that somehow soothed instead of frightened. Any questions? Owen asked. Every hand in the class went up. Professor Nilram pointed to Torvin first. The antlered student had his hand raised so high his shoulder looked uncomfortable. You said cats can bond with prey animals sometimes. How? Why would prey not run? Why would predators not hunt? Owen nodded. Excellent question. Let me show you something. He pulled up a new video. The image showed a large dog, clearly a predator itself with forward-facing eyes and visible teeth, sleeping on a couch. A cat was curled up against the dog's stomach, using it as a warm pillow. Both animals were completely relaxed. This is possible through early socialization, Owen explained. If a cat meets other species when they are a kitten during their first few months of life, they learn those species are friends, not food. Their hunting instinct does not apply to known friends. We have videos of cats bonding with dogs, rabbits, birds, even mice. But the instinct must return, Liz said. Surely when hungry, when stressed, the predator reemerges. Sometimes, yes, Owen admitted. Some cats have higher prey drive than others. But most cats raised in human homes never need to hunt for survival. They are fed daily, high-quality food designed specifically for their nutritional needs. They never experience desperate hunger. Their hunting becomes play, sport, not survival. Luna seemed to take this as her cue to prove she was well fed. She squirmed in Owen's arms, demanding to be put down. When he set her on the platform, she immediately flopped onto her side and rolled onto her back, exposing her stomach. Her legs stretched out in complete relaxation. That position, Pip said, pointing with a shaking finger, that is vulnerability. Predators never show their stomach. It is where all the vital organs are. Exactly, Owen said. Luna is showing ultimate trust right now. She is in a room full of strangers and she feels safe enough to expose her most vulnerable area. This is what cats do when they feel completely secure. They show their belly. He paused. Though I should mention, showing the belly is not always an invitation to touch it. Many cats will allow you to see the belly, but will bite if you try to pet it. It is a trap. Luna does this to me regularly. Despite the tension, several students smiled. The idea of a predator setting traps for its human companion was absurd and somehow endearing. My turn, said Professor Nilram. You mentioned humans protect predators in the wild. You said you have areas where hunting is not allowed. This makes no survival sense. Why protect something dangerous? Owen's expression grew serious. Because humans learned something important in our history. We learned that we are not separate from nature. We are part of it. When we killed all the predators in an area thinking it would make us safer, other problems appeared. He pulled up a case study. In one region on Earth, humans killed all the wolves. They thought this would protect livestock and make the land safer. But without wolves, the deer population exploded. Too many deer ate all the young trees and plants. The forest started dying. Rivers changed course because plants no longer held the soil. Other animals lost their homes. The entire ecosystem collapsed. When we brought wolves back, everything healed. The wolves kept deer populations healthy and moving. Plants grew back. Rivers stabilized. Other species returned. We learned that predators are necessary. They are part of the balance. He looked at each student. So yes, humans protect predators now. We have laws against killing endangered species. We create protected lands where predators can hunt naturally. We even help predator populations recover when they get too small. Because we understand now that a world without predators is a world out of balance. Torvin looked thoughtful. Humans protect predators in the wild and live with predators in their homes. Your species exists in constant contact with danger. We exist in constant contact with life, Owen corrected. Danger is part of life. But so is trust, cooperation, and understanding. Humans decided long ago that we would rather understand predators than just fear them. That decision changed us. Luna, bored with being ignored, stood up and stretched. Her front legs extended forward, her back arched up, her tail pointed straight up. It was a position of flexibility that should not be possible. Several students made impressed sounds. Cats have a floating collarbone, Owen explained. It allows them to squeeze through any space their head can fit through. They can flatten their body, twist in ways that look impossible. They can rotate their spine more than almost any other animal. This makes them incredibly agile hunters and also explains why they fit in boxes that seem too small. He pulled up videos of cats squeezing into progressively smaller boxes, each one looking more impossible than the last. The students watched, fascinated despite themselves. Fear was slowly being replaced by curiosity. I have a question, Pip said, her voice still quiet but steadier than before. You said you love Luna, that she is family. Do all humans feel this way about their companion predators? Owen considered this carefully. Most do. There are billions of humans and each one feels differently. But in general, yes. Humans bond very deeply with companion animals. We grieve when they die. We celebrate their birthdays. We talk to them like they understand. We show them pictures and tell them about our day. We consider them family members with equal importance to human family. He gestured to his tablet. I have thousands of photos of Luna on my personal device. I send pictures of her to my friends. I talk about her to colleagues. When I am away on trips, I pay someone to visit my home twice a day to feed her and play with her because I do not want her to be lonely. You alter your life for the predator's comfort, Professor Nilram said, still taking frantic notes. Yes, Owen said simply, because her comfort matters to me. Her happiness matters. I want her to have a good life. That is what love means. Caring about someone else's well-being as much as your own. Luna jumped off the platform without warning. The entire class tensed. She landed gracefully and immediately began investigating the room. She walked along the wall, sniffing at corners, her tail high and confident. She completely ignored the students, even when she passed within a few feet of Liss's chair. Liss sat frozen, barely breathing. Luna paused, turned her head, and looked directly at the rabbit-like alien. They locked eyes, predator and prey, Ancient instincts firing on both sides. Luna's pupils dilated slightly, that hunting focus beginning to engage. Then Luna sneezed, breaking the moment completely. She shook her head, annoyed at her own sneeze, and continued exploring. Liz let out a breath that might have been a laugh or might have been relief. Luna does not see you as prey, Owen said gently. To her, you are just large, strange-smelling furniture. She might be curious, but she is not hungry and she is not threatened. There is no reason for her to attack. Cats do not kill for fun or sport when they are domestic and well-fed. They save that energy for important things like napping and judging humans. Judging? Torvin asked. Owen grinned. Cats are very judgmental. They have opinions about everything. Luna hates the vacuum cleaner. She glares at it like it personally insulted her family. She refuses to eat food that is too cold. She will stare at me until I warm it slightly. She has a favorite sleeping spot and gets upset if anything is in it. She has standards. He pulled up a photo of Luna sitting in a bathroom sink, looking directly at the camera with an expression that could only be described as severe disappointment. This is the look she gives me when I am late with breakfast. The students laughed. Real laughter this time, not nervous sounds. The absurdity of a predator judging a human was too much. It inverted the expected relationship completely. Luna, having completed her inspection of the room, returned to the presentation platform. But she did not jump back up. Instead, she sat at the base and looked up at Owen, meowing loudly. She wants me to help her up, Owen translated. She could jump up easily. She has jumped onto surfaces 3 times this height, but she wants me to lift her because she prefers being carried. He bent down and picked her up. Luna immediately began purring again, settling into his arms like she was meant to be there. Cats train us, Owen said. They learn what behaviors get them what they want. Meowing at humans works, so they do it. Wild cats rarely meow. It is a behavior they developed specifically for communicating with humans. They adapted to us. But you also adapted to them, Professor Nilram observed. You speak to her expecting understanding. You interpret her sounds and body language. You adjust your schedule and behavior for her needs. Yes, Owen agreed. That is what partnership means. Both sides adapt. Both sides compromise. Both sides benefit. Luna gets food, shelter, safety, and companionship. I get companionship, entertainment, and the privilege of being chosen by a creature that does not need me, but wants me anyway. He stroked Luna's head. She pushed up into the touch, eyes closing in pleasure. That is the real answer to why humans live with predators. Not because we are foolish or suicidal, but because we learned that connection is more valuable than safety. That love is worth the risk. That understanding someone different from us makes us better. The room was quiet except for Luna's purring. The students sat with these ideas, trying to fit them into worldviews built entirely on predator-prey division. The concepts felt alien, dangerous, impossible, but they were also sitting in a room with a predator and still breathing. The evidence was hard to deny. Does anyone want to observe Luna more closely? Owen asked. I will not force interaction. But if you are curious, now is the time. He expected silence. He expected refusal. He did not expect Torvin to slowly raise his hand and say, I would like to try. Every eye in the classroom turned to Torvin. The deer-like alien stood slowly, his legs visibly shaking. His antler-like horns seemed to droop slightly with the weight of what he was about to do, but he took one step forward. Then another. Owen remained perfectly still, holding Luna gently. That is very brave of you, Torvin. We will go at your pace. You can stop at any time. Torvin took 3 more steps and stopped. He was now about 6 feet from the platform, closer than any student had been since Owen opened the carrier. Luna opened her eyes lazily, looked at Torvin without much interest, and yawned. Her pink tongue curled and her teeth flashed in the light. Torvin froze. She showed her teeth. She yawned, Owen corrected gently. She is a little sleepy. I woke her up early for this trip. Cats sleep between 12 and 16 hours a day. Luna's probably ready for a nap. Predators sleep that much? Pip asked, surprised. Hunting takes enormous energy, Owen explained. In the wild, cats spend most of their time resting, saving energy for the hunt. Domestic cats kept that sleep schedule even though they do not need to hunt. It is instinct. Torvin took another step. Luna's eyes tracked the movement, but she did not tense. She simply watched with the mild curiosity of someone observing something vaguely interesting. Talk to me about what you were feeling, Owen said to Torvin. It helps to name the fear. My legs want to run, Torvin said honestly. Every part of my biology is screaming that I am near a predator. My hearts are racing. My mouth is dry. I can smell my own fear hormones releasing. That is completely normal, Owen assured him. Your instincts exist to keep you safe. They are not wrong to identify danger. But humans believe that understanding can be stronger than instinct. You are fighting millions of years of evolution right now. That takes incredible courage. Torvin managed a shaky smile, or incredible stupidity. Sometimes those look similar, Owen agreed. But you are still moving forward. That is what matters. Another step. Torvin was now close enough to reach out and touch the platform if he wanted. His hands trembled at his sides. Luna shifted in Owen's arms, getting more comfortable, and the movement made Torvin flinch backward. Sorry, Owen said. She is just adjusting. Watch her body language. Her ears are forward, relaxed. Her whiskers are not pulled back. Her tail is calm. She is not preparing to attack. She is just being held. How do I know you are right? Torvin asked. How do I know she will not suddenly strike? You cannot know for certain, Owen said honestly. That is what trust means. Choosing to believe in safety despite uncertainty. But I can tell you that Luna has been held by hundreds of people. She has met other aliens before. She has never attacked anyone who approached her, calmly and respectfully. Her behavior is consistent, predictable. Torvin considered this. He took a deep breath and stepped forward again. Now he was at the platform, close enough to see the individual hairs in Luna's fur, close enough to see the thin black lines radiating from her pupils, close enough to smell her, a warm, slightly dusty scent. What do I do now? Torvin whispered. Hold out your hand slowly, Owen instructed. Let her smell you. That is how cats gather information. Their sense of smell is very strong. She will learn about you from your scent. Torvin extended his hand. It shook badly, but he kept it moving forward. Luna's eyes focused on the approaching hand. Her nose twitched. When Torvin's hand was about 6 inches away, Owen spoke again. Stop there. Let her come to you. Let her make the choice. They waited. The entire classroom held its breath. Luna looked at the hand. She looked at Torvin's face. She looked at Owen as if asking permission. Owen nodded slightly. Luna stretched her neck forward, nose extending toward Torvin's hand. The movement was slow, deliberate, non-threatening. Her whiskers spread wide, sensing the air around this strange new being. Then her nose touched Torvin's finger. Torvin made a sound like he had been struck. But he did not pull away. Luna sniffed his finger, then his palm, then the back of his hand. Her nose was cool and slightly damp. She gathered information in a language older than words. She is learning about you, Owen said softly. Your biology, your diet, your emotional state. Cats can smell fear, but they can also smell curiosity and kindness. You are being very kind right now, Torvin. Very brave. Luna, having completed her investigation, made a decision. She pushed her head forward and rubbed her cheek against Torvin's palm. The bunting behavior Owen had explained earlier. Claiming, accepting. Torvin's eyes went wide. She is soft, he breathed. So soft. You can pet her head gently if you want, Owen offered. Slow movements. Most cats like to be petted on the head and cheeks. Avoid the stomach even though she showed it earlier. That is a trust display but not always an invitation to touch. Torvin moved his hand, barely breathing, and stroked Luna's head once, then twice. Luna leaned into the touch, her purr increasing in volume. The vibration traveled through Owen's chest and arms, audible to everyone watching. She likes you, Owen said with a smile. She is purring louder. That means she approves. Torvin petted Luna a third time, his confidence growing microscopically. I am touching a predator, he said, wonder in his voice. I am petting a hunter and I am not dead. You are not prey to her, Owen said. You are a friend. A strange friend who smells weird and looks unusual, but a friend. That is what you became the moment you approached her with respect instead of aggression. Luna, deciding she had been patient enough, turned her head and gave Torvin's hand a small lick with her rough tongue. Torvin jerked back slightly, startled. Sorry, Owen said. Cat tongues are like sandpaper. They use them for grooming and for scraping meat off bones. But just then she was giving you a grooming lick. It is affection. She was accepting you into her social group. The predator groomed me, Torvin said faintly, like I am a member of her pride. Cats do not have prides, that is lions, Owen corrected with a gentle smile. But yes, she acknowledged you as safe, familiar, worthy of care. That is a great honor from a cat. They do not give affection freely. Torvin stepped back, looking at his hand like it had transformed into something miraculous. I did it. I touched a predator and lived. The classroom erupted, not in panic but in excited chatter. Students leaned forward asking questions. Could they try? Was Luna tired? Would she accept more people? The fear had not vanished entirely, but it had cracked. Light was getting through. Professor Nilram stood. Class, let us be respectful of both Luna and Owen. They did not come here to be overwhelmed. Torvin's bravery opened a door, but we must walk through it carefully. I do not mind more visitors, Owen said, but one at a time, and only if Luna seems comfortable. Her consent matters. She is not an object or a tool. She is a thinking, feeling individual. We respect her choices. Liz raised a trembling hand. I would like to try, but I am terrified. Fear is wisdom, Owen said. It keeps you alert and careful. Use it. Do not fight it completely. Let it make you cautious, not paralyzed. Liz stood. Her legs barely supported her, but she stood. She took a step. Then another. She made it halfway to the platform before stopping. I cannot, she whispered. That is okay, Owen assured her. You moved closer than you thought possible. That is growth. That is bravery. Maybe next time you will make it all the way. Maybe not. Both are acceptable. But Liz surprised everyone, including herself. No, I want to try. She forced her legs to move. One step, another. She reached the platform where Torvin had stood. Her entire body shook like leaves in a storm. Owen adjusted his hold on Luna so she faced Liz more directly. Luna, this is Liz. She is very frightened but very brave. Be gentle with her, please. Luna, as if she actually understood, sat very still in Owen's arms. She did not yawn, did not stretch, did not make any sudden movements. She simply looked at Liz with those large green eyes and waited. Hold out your hand, Owen coached. Let her smell you. Liz extended her hand. It shook so badly her fingers blurred. But she held it out. Luna leaned forward, nose working, gathering information. Then, just as she had with Torvin, she rubbed her cheek against Liz's palm. Liz made a sound between a sob and a laugh. She accepted me. The predator accepted me. Now pet her gently, Owen encouraged. Liz touched Luna's head with one finger. Just one, Luna purred. Liz added a second finger. The purr continued. Emboldened, Liz used her whole hand, stroking the soft fur with gentle, shaking movements. I am petting a predator, Liz said, tears in her eyes. I never thought I would be brave enough. I never thought I could. But you did, Owen said warmly. You faced your greatest fear and found a friend on the other side of it. Liz petted Luna for a full minute before stepping back. She looked at her hands like they belonged to someone else, someone braver, someone new. Who else? Owen asked the class. Pip stood up. The smallest student, the most frightened, the one who looked most like prey. Me, she squeaked. I want to try too. And she walked forward, scared but determined, toward the purring predator who was teaching an entire classroom that fear and friendship could exist in the same moment. And that understanding was always worth the risk. Pip reached the platform faster than anyone expected. Fear made her quick, but so did determination. She was small enough that her eyes were level with Luna's, even though the cat was being held by Owen. Two predators looking at prey that refused to run. Luna tilted her head, studying this tiny being with focused interest. Pip froze, recognizing the hunting focus in those green eyes. But Owen spoke quietly. Luna, no, friend, gentle. Luna's pupils contracted slightly. The hunting focus faded. She looked away from Pip, breaking the predator stare deliberately. It was a choice, a conscious decision to not see prey. She just chose not to hunt you, Owen explained to Pip. She recognized the behavior you triggered in her and stopped it. That is intelligence. That is control. She is not a mindless killer. She thinks. She decides. Pip extended her small hand. Luna sniffed it thoroughly, taking longer than she had with the others. Perhaps the mouse-like alien smelled more like natural prey. Perhaps Luna needed more time to categorize this being as friend rather than food. But eventually she rubbed her cheek against Pip's palm. You are so warm, Pip said in wonder. I thought predators would be cold, frightening. but you are warm and soft and alive." She petted Luna with tiny, gentle strokes. Luna, perhaps sensing Pip's size and vulnerability, remained perfectly motionless. She did not even purr, as if knowing the vibration might be too intense for this small being. She simply accepted the affection and gave calm stillness in return. When Pip stepped back, she was smiling. "I will tell my family about this. They will not believe me, but I have witnesses." One by one, the other students approached. Some made it all the way to touching Luna. Others came close and stopped, satisfied with just being near a predator without panicking. Each student faced their fear in their own way. Each found their own courage. Professor Nilram came last. As the instructor, he felt responsible for setting an example. But his legs did not want to cooperate. He had lived 60 years without being this close to a predator. His species had evolved on a peaceful world with no large carnivores. Everything in his biology screamed that this was wrong. But he thought about his students, about Torvin's shaking hand reaching out anyway, about Lys's tears of joy, about tiny Pip standing tall despite being the perfect size for a cat's prey. If they could be brave, so could he. He approached. His legs felt like water, but they carried him forward. Luna, having been patient with 11 students already, looked tired. Her eyes were half closed and her purring had quieted. She was a small animal who had been social for a long time. She was ready to rest. "I think Luna might be done with visitors," Owen said gently. "She has been very patient, but she needs a break." "I understand," Professor Nilram said. But Luna, perhaps recognizing the importance of this moment, lifted her head and looked directly at the professor. She gave a small, quiet meow. Not demanding, not frightened. Just acknowledging his presence. Professor Nilram reached out with one long, moss-covered finger and touched Luna's head. The contact lasted only a moment, but in that moment, everything he thought he knew about predators shifted. She was not a monster. She was not evil. She was just a small, tired, patient creature who had spent her morning being brave for strangers. "Thank you, Luna," he said formally. "You have taught me more in one day than I learned in years of study." Owen smiled. "I think she is ready to rest now. Do you mind if I put her away?" "Of course," Professor Nilram said. "We have taken enough of your time and her energy." Owen carried Luna back to the carrier, but before putting her inside, he held her up to his face. She touched her nose to his, a gesture of affection between species. Then he placed her gently in the carrier with a soft blanket. Luna circled twice and curled into a tight ball, her tail over her nose. Within seconds, she was asleep. "She trusts me to keep her safe while she is vulnerable," Owen said softly. "That trust took years to build, but it is complete now. She knows I will protect her, just as she comforts me when I need it." He closed the carrier gently and turned back to the class. Every student was watching him with new eyes. Not eyes full of fear, but eyes full of questions, curiosity, understanding. "I want to leave you with something important," Owen said. "Today you met Luna, one cat. There are billions more like her on Earth and on human ships and stations. But cats are not the only predators humans befriend. We live with dogs who are pack hunters. We keep ferrets who hunt in burrows. Some humans even keep snakes, spiders, and scorpions. We share our world with predators because we learned something crucial." He paused, making sure everyone was listening. "Being a predator does not make you evil. Being prey does not make you weak. These are just survival strategies. What matters is choice. Luna could hunt, but she chooses not to because she is fed and loved. Humans could fear all predators, but we choose to understand instead. That choice, that bridge between predator and prey, that is what makes humans unique in the galaxy." "We were prey once," Owen continued. "Ancient humans were hunted by big cats, by wolves, by bears. We remember what it is like to be afraid. Maybe that is why we are so good at making peace with predators. We know both sides. We understand fear and we understand hunger. We can imagine ourselves in anyone's place." Professor Nilram raised his hand like a student. "You called this empathy in an earlier statement. The ability to understand another's perspective. You believe this is humanity's greatest strength?" "I do," Owen said firmly. "Humans are not the fastest species. Not the strongest. Not the smartest, though we do well enough. But we are the best at understanding, at cooperation, at building bridges between different worlds. We make alliances with anyone. We find common ground with everyone. Predator, prey, or something else entirely. We see people, not categories." Lys spoke up, her voice steady now. "Is that why humans do well in the galactic community? Because you can be friends with anyone? Partly, Owen agreed. But also because we bring that philosophy with us. We teach it by example. Today, all of you touched a predator and survived. More than survived. You learned, you grew. You faced fear and came out the other side with understanding. That is what humans hope to share with the galaxy. Not fear, not weapons, but understanding. He picked up the carrier carefully. Luna did not stir, lost in deep sleep. My people have a saying, judge someone by how they treat those who can do nothing for them. Luna can do nothing for me that I could not do myself. I do not need her for survival. But I love her anyway. I care for her anyway, because her happiness matters. Her life has value, not because of what she can do, but because of who she is. That is the message I hope you take from today, Owen said. Everyone has value. Every being deserves understanding. Fear is natural, but it should not be the end of the conversation. It should be the beginning. Ask why you are afraid. Learn about what scares you. You might find a friend on the other side of that fear. The class sat in silence, processing everything. Then Pip stood up. Thank you, Owen. Thank you, Luna. You changed how I see the universe today. Others echoed her sentiment. One by one, the students thanked Owen and the sleeping cat for their time, their patience, their lesson. Professor Nilram waited until everyone finished before speaking. Owen, would you be willing to return? Perhaps for a longer seminar? I believe my students would benefit from more cultural exchange with humans. And I confess I would like to learn more myself. Owen grinned. Luna and I would be happy to visit again. Though next time, maybe I will bring videos of dogs. Different predator, different relationship, equally interesting. Dogs? Torvin asked nervously. How big are dogs? Depends on the breed, Owen said. Some are smaller than Luna. Some are large enough for a human to ride. All of them think they are lapdogs regardless of size. All of them love humans with an intensity that borders on worship. They are very different from cats. The students looked at each other. Fear flickered briefly, but so did curiosity. The curiosity won. We would like to learn about dogs, Professor Nilram said, and about any other predators humans befriend. You have opened a door today, Owen. We would like to walk through it further. Owen nodded. Then I will come back, and I will bring more examples of how humans build bridges, how we turn fear into friendship, how we choose love over survival instinct. He moved toward the door, Luna sleeping peacefully in her carrier. Before leaving, he turned back one last time. Remember today. Remember that you were brave. Remember that understanding won over fear, and remember that if a small cat and a dozen herbivores can share space peacefully, anything is possible. Any friendship. Any alliance. Any future. The door closed behind him. The classroom erupted into conversation immediately. Students talking over each other, sharing their experiences, comparing notes. Professor Nilram did not quiet them. Let them process. Let them integrate this new understanding. Liz pulled out her personal tablet and searched Earth's planetary network. Within minutes, she found herself watching videos of cats doing silly things. Videos of cats and dogs cuddling. Videos of cats playing with human children. Videos of cats sleeping in ridiculous positions. She laughed until her sides hurt. Pip joined her, looking over her shoulder. Then Torvin, then others. Soon the entire class was clustered around the tablet, watching Earth's predators being silly, being loving, being complex individuals rather than simple monsters. I want to visit Earth someday, Pip said quietly. I want to see these predators in their home environment. I want to understand more. We should organize a class trip, Torvin suggested. Cultural exchange. We visit Earth, meet more predators, learn about human society. I will propose it to the university administration, Professor Nilram said. After today, after watching all of you grow and change, I believe such a trip would be invaluable. We cannot let fear keep us from understanding. Owen and Luna taught us that. The conversation continued until the class period ended. Students left slowly, reluctant to break the spell of the day. They had entered as one version of themselves and were leaving as another. Braver, wiser, more open. Professor Nilram stayed behind, making notes for the academic paper that was forming in his mind. Predator-Prey Relations, the Human Exception, would be its title. But the real title, the one he would not write but would always think, was simpler. How Humans Teach the Galaxy to Love. Outside the classroom, walking through the station corridors, Owen felt Luna shift in her carrier. She made a small, sleepy meow. He reached in and scratched her head gently. "You did good today, girl," he whispered. "You helped them understand. You showed them that predators can be kind. That fear and love are not opposites. That choosing peace is the bravest thing anyone can do." Luna purred once, then went back to sleep. She did not know she had changed minds today. She did not know she had built bridges between species. She only knew her human was happy, and that meant everything was right in her world. And perhaps, Owen thought, that simple trust, that uncomplicated love was the lesson after all. Not everything needed to be complex. Sometimes peace was as simple as choosing to be kind, choosing to be patient, choosing to see the person instead of the predator. Humans had learned that lesson from cats thousands of years ago. Now finally, they were teaching it to the stars.